Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. Today I'm going to be working on my Hazel. This is a tree that just started growing in the middle of my yard, and I swear I've looked everywhere for a hazel tree in my neighborhood. I haven't found one, so this is a bit of an anomaly. I wasn't sure what it was for a while. Thank you to the people who have commented about this tree in the past. It's due for a repot. It's just starting to come alive. It's been in the greenhouse because I knew I had to repot it, and I didn't want it to be under the snow when I was ready to repot. But I've been seeing some late winter repots out there, and they seem to be successful. I'm going to do that with my Hazel. Let's take a look at it. This is my Hazel, and as you can see from the buds, it's quickly starting to come to life. So this is the perfect time to repot. It's been in the greenhouse. It's been protected. I knew I had to repot it this coming spring, but this tree is telling me to repot it now. One of the things I want to show you about this tree is the roots. There's some ugly stuff happening here, but I've never had a root over rock candidate that I was really happy with. This pot is just a cheap terracotta pot, and I have a plate, like a, I don't know, fruit plate, in here to keep it shallow. So I'm not sure what I'm going to see when I take this out of the pot, but that's the first step. Let's try and do that. All right, so it's been in this pot. This would be its fourth season in this pot. I put it in here thinking, oh, I don't have any bonsai pots. I've got this. Let's keep it shallow. And there, I didn't put a hole in that plate. If I remember correctly, the plate that's in here is fluted on the sides and angles down, so I wasn't worried about water collecting anywhere, and the fluted sides would have let the water drain freely. I think I've gone all the way around. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's see. All right, it's on a tray now. I just wanted to zoom in and show you the buds. All right, let's get it out of the pot. Being real careful. Oh my goodness. Can you see the plate? My goodness. I've got a lot of work to do. Let me start combing this out and we'll talk about it. See what's going on the top. There are surface roots, and there are lots of very nice roots. Nothing is, well, at the bottom there are some white tips. And it does get pretty warm. I have the window open, and it is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It does get warm in here. So I'm not surprised that there are white tips on those new roots. I'm going to be cutting a lot of that away. So I'm just going to have to be real careful and maintain whatever roots I can. Can you see the plate? Can you see that? I'm just going to have to cut right here, and I'll have a nice flat root system. Just comb out the edges. All right, let me get tough. I'm going to try and maintain that outer ring, if you can see that, and just cut beyond it. Being careful not to damage any of the buds on the tree. Okay, it's quite a ring of roots. There's no water down there though, just what got through. And it would settle on the bottom of the pot, which was a good distance from this. All right, I'm going to free that up. No need for you to watch me do that. And I'll be right back. All right, so I extracted the fruit plate. I cut off the bird's nest. The lesson is, and please listen to this lesson, if you're going to do this experiment yourself, expedite it a little more. In other words, 2 years at the most, you'll get a nice flat root base and you won't have to go through this. So, big mistake on my part. And I'm not going to punish you for it. So let's go into fast mode and get this thing combed out. Just want to take a moment to show you what I'm uncovering. It's pretty cool. I'll come back when this is fully cleaned up. All right, so I got the root base all washed off. I did a little bit of a profile prune on it. It's quite big. I think what I need to do is figure out what I want to do with this tree. Originally, I thought I wanted to change the planting angle to make it more upright. And I thought, oh, maybe a root over rock. But with a mass of roots like this, will you ever see the rock? So I think I'm just going to plant this up as a tree in a pot. And since I want to grow it out and have it still be in training, and I see how these roots want to grow, I think I'm going to put it in a pot like this, change the planting angle a little bit, expose as much of these roots as possible, because until these branches work themselves out, the roots are a pretty cool feature on this tree. All right, let me get working on that. So it's still a pretty tangled mess. And I'm going to keep the pot handy because I'm going to have to shape this, to be no wider than the sides of this and really less than them also. So I still have a lot of root work to go. All right, let's see what we got here. This root goes up and out of the soil. It comes from right here, and there are, I'm just going to cut it right off short. It also went back in there. This one's up high, but if I'm exposing roots, do I want that root showing? I don't think so, because all of the roots that are up there are pretty mature and come out nice. This one inside here that goes down and around, I might want to take that whole thing out. That's a lot of roots. I think I'm going to leave it and just try to make it a little bit more presentable by taking this piece off. This is dead here. Here's a section that goes back around. It comes out here and goes back to the back. Oh, and I want to be aware of a front if I can find one on this tree. This root goes down into the ground, and I might have it exposed to here. So I kind of like that, but then it curves. It's got a branch. Does it? Yeah, it has branches further back here, so I'm going to take the top of that off. All right. So, this is what I had thought of as the front of this tree. But I'm not going to really know until I place it. Here's a piece of this root that goes around. I don't think I need this section of it at all. Made a little scar. I'm waiting for this tree to tell me what it wants to do. All right, I'm going to shorten some of this. And I'll probably be shortening it even further. So this is where I've got it untangled. Heavy piece of a root. There's a few of those like that. I'm just going to shorten those. This still bothers me here. It's got this bulb here that's, you know, I'm kind of waiting for the tree to grow out of that. Shorten some of those thicker ones. Keep some of them. I'm sure they're performing quite a good function. And I think this tree is going to be happy. A bit of a tangle here. There's a piece headed up, and cut it short. Here's another one of those, and this might be the same one that I elected not to cut before. I think I am going to cut this top piece off. Let it go down into the soil. Let me see what I can chop off underneath this. Yeah, there's, you see how these came down and started to circle? Yeah, I'm going to cut those short. I think you can see well now. This tree needs some help, but I did manage to get a flat root base on it. Yeah, let's see what it looks like in the pot. So center in the pot or off to the side. Either way, I'm going to take a little bit more root off. Yeah, I think it better go in this way. All right, I'm going to take a little bit more root off of here. Not wholesale, just enough to fit the pot and then some. And off the opposite side. A little bit more from the underside. And I think that's got it. Something like that. All right, so this is one of those pots that has the holes already in it. No screen necessary. I don't love these kind of pots, but they serve a purpose. Let's get some soil in there. Let's get this baby planted up. Well, just let me talk about style for a second. We're looking at the front. I'm probably taking this branch off because it crosses over this one. This one has some wire scars in there, but I knocked off a bud that was growing from here. And I'm so sorry I did, because I probably would want to replace that branch. This one, I don't know. This is a nice complement to this branch. And who knows? I mean, I got to see how the back budding goes. But, you know, I've got a lot of leaves coming out on the canopy, and I really won't know what this is looking like. Let's get some soil in the pot and see how it goes. All right, so here's a base layer. I'm going to mound it up in the middle. I don't want too much on the bottom of the pot. I'm just going to spread this out. See if I can't get a height and a positioning that I like. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to get it down just a little bit more because I'll be lifting it up as I backfill. Tilt this forward even more. I'll do this in fast mode. Okay, so here's my hazel all planted up. That is the front that I had proposed. All right, let me prune this thing up. Let me get geared up for what I want to do, and we'll prune this guy up.